What's going on, everybody? Grim Repair here. Today we're going to be changing the front brake pads on a Ford Transit. If this video helps you out, be sure to subscribe. Tools you're going to need are a jack stand, 15mm wrench, flathead screwdriver, caliper grease, brake parts cleaner, and a way to compress the brake piston. You're also going to need a 13/16 socket to remove the wheel. First, we're going to open the brake fluid reservoir. Then we're going to jack the front of the van up at the subframe. Make sure you slide your jack stand under there. We're going to remove the 5 lug nuts. Remove the wheel. Take the flathead and pry the caliper out against the piston. Then we're going to take the 15mm and remove the top bolt holding the caliper. We're going to leave the bottom one attached for now to support the caliper while we grease up and clean the slide pin. Go ahead and pop the pads out. Put one of the old pads back in while you compress the piston. I have a video on 3 different ways to compress brake pistons, so if you don't have this tool, you can check that out. I'll link it here. And if you need to know how to do the rear brakes on your Transit van, I also have a video on that. Just pull the slide pin out. We're going to clean it with some brake parts cleaner. The top pin doesn't have a rubber boot around it, as you'll see that the bottom one does. Try to clean the grease out of the caliper bracket as well. And put a good amount on the clean slide pin. And twist it while you slide it back in to evenly spread the grease. We're going to remove these anti-rattle clips because our pads came with some new ones. Make sure you're putting the right ones in the right places. They're different. Spin the rotor and make sure it's not rubbing on it. There's 2 on the outside and 2 on the inside. Slide the new pads in, putting the pad material toward the rotor. And we're going to go ahead and put the top bolt back in, and that'll support the caliper while we grease the slide pin on the bottom. Here you can see the rubber boot that I mentioned earlier. Make sure it goes back on the bottom pin. Clean it out just like we did on the top. And lube it up generously. Bottom one's a little bit more difficult to get in because of that rubber boot on there. Tighten them both back up. Reinstall the wheel. Remove the jack stand, lower the van, and you're pretty much going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you put the reservoir cap back on. Make sure you pump your brakes before you drive off. And that's it. High five. You did it. Thanks for watching.